I think that 30 range is almost guaranteed. I think 20 is highly likely. And I think 10 is a possibility. Hi, everyone. Mike Maloney and Ellen Hibbert here once again with an update on the gold-silver ratio and an opportunity that comes just once in a lifetime. How to get like 3 to 5 times more gold than you paid for. And so basically, you're talking about a 66% to an 80% discount, possibly even more, on your gold. Alan, what have you got?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Mike. So a lot of people are wondering, like, gold is at all-time highs. Is it over, or is there still an opportunity? And well, the case for gold we can make in another video. It's not over yet, but the case for silver couldn't be stronger. So like you just said, Mike, silver you can buy basically 3 to 5 times as much gold if you get silver now and wait for that ratio to revert. So one thing to point out is that on our website, goldsilver.com, in the bottom right, you can see what the gold silver ratio is at any given time. And if you click it, it'll open up a chart and you can see what the ratio has been recently. You can also update it here like this. So in a little bit, I want to show our audience a long-term gold silver chart looking at over 300 years. But first, Mike, do you want to tell our audience about an upcoming investor cruise that you're going to be on?
Yes, I'm going to be on the Investor Summit cruise, and this is a cruise throughout the Caribbean, and it's with a whole lot of great guests. And here's the deal. If you sign up and you mention that you're coming to see Mike Maloney, you will get a seat at my table, and we will have dinner together at least one of these nights, maybe more. And so the guests that we've got, there's Robert Helms. You're going to want to hear from this guy. He puts on some amazing events. Ken McElroy, a guy that I've been working with since 2005 when I was the Rich Dad advisor for Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote the biggest selling financial book in history, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But if you're interested in gold, you're going to want to be at this event. We've got Peter Schiff, another major gold guy, Brian London. Brian started the very first, I think it was the first gold conference, but it's the oldest running gold conference, the New Orleans Investment Conference. You're going to want to talk with him. And Dana Samuelson is also a big commentator on precious metals. So also we've got George Gammon and Brent Johnson. So it's going to be a great event, well worth the price. So what have you got next here, Alan?
Yeah, well, let's get back to the gold silver ratio. I mean, if we zoom out and look at over 300 years of history, you can see that it was pretty stable around 15 or 16 for almost 200 years. And it's only lately that things have been extremely volatile and extremely out of whack.
Yeah, well, it first became out of whack with a bunch of giant silver discoveries, the Silver Valley in Idaho and the Comstock lode. And then we went on to the classical gold standard, and all these countries around the world, their treasuries dumped a bunch of silver onto the market. So, and silver used to move much more slowly. Today, the volatility is much greater. But this chart, this is annual data, and you've updated the last data point, I believe, with today's data. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. So we're up over 101, almost 102, like slightly before recording this video. And if the calendar year ended today, this would be the highest gold silver ratio at the end of a year ever. You can see we haven't ended over 100 ever, but it would be today if the year ended today. So
wow.
Yeah, very high. That means the opportunity for silver is humongous, right? It has never been bigger in history. So I don't know what else to say. Alarm bells, silver is such a good buy. I don't know how many times we can make this point. Like, it's just like huge, once in a lifetime, once in a 300-year opportunity. I mean, this is huge.
Yeah. So let's take a look at something more recent.
Yeah, exactly. So like you said, this is annual data. If we look at daily data, we can see a lot more of the moves. And up in the COVID era, we were actually higher. We were over 120, but where we are today is the second highest in history. And of course, you can say that we're still in the COVID era. I mean,
So this opportunity, that first chart was 300 and how many years?
338, maybe.
Yeah. So in the last 330 something years, this opportunity has only existed for just weeks. I mean, you can count these on your fingers, basically. Well, I think it's 12 weeks or something like that.
Might have to use your toes.
But so if you look there in 2011, it dropped to 30. So if you buy gold, if you buy silver today and you trade it for gold, it is at least destined for 30 one of these days, coming soon. Coming soon to a gold dealer near you. There's going to be this ratio and the opportunity to change. But back in 1980, it was at 14 on one day. I think this chart goes down to 16. Is this weekly or is it daily?
It's daily.
Maybe I'm talking about intraday. But I know it did hit 14 was the bottom of that. And so I'm expecting actually that it could hit like 10. Silver is just in very short supply. We're running silver deficits in a period of time where silver is just amazingly undervalued compared to gold. And it's when monetary demand happens, when the public comes rushing back in for safety and gold is perceived as too expensive. And we're getting near that point now with gold up in, I mean, with gold at 3,300 and so on, 3,500 it hit at one point. Once it gets to like 5,000, the average person that wants to buy gold is going to go, well, how much is the silver? Because, it was only 250 at the beginning of the century. And here we are at 3,500 already. So, yeah. So the opportunity is, what do you feel the opportunity is? How many? We've got gold at a 66% discount. If you buy silver now and the ratio reaches 30 and you switch your silver for gold. If it goes down to 20, you're buying your gold at an 80% discount. If it goes down to 10, you're buying it at a 90% discount. And I think all of these, I think that 30 range is almost guaranteed. I think 20 is highly likely. And I think 10 is a possibility. What do you think?
Yep. That's exactly what I think. So, I mean, for anyone out there, you could buy a certain amount of gold today, or you could use the same amount of currency to buy silver and be patient and have triple the amount of gold in the long run, or 5 times or even 10 times as much gold if you're willing to wait. So the opportunity here is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for all oh, by the way, everybody, if you want to know more about this, my book is $19 on Amazon. Alan helped research it for 4 years. He made all of the charts, and we had another researcher that was full-time for 4 years, providing the very best data. This is the highest rated book about precious metals in history. And I would appreciate it if you help me out, because I'm still at a big financial loss on this one. However, when you dive that deep into something, it does make you an expert. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and thank you, Alan.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, everyone.